This is a clear case of looting of state assets. It's a clear case of state capture. It's a clear case of corruption. It is a clear case of conflict of interest.
Are you not jumping like that? Some of those other facilities, you come to a place like La Palm. If you had been to La Palm some 5 years, 6 years, maybe 7 years earlier, and you went to La Palm, let's say 4 years ago, you weep. Nobody was interested. In fact, people will go and have a ceremony at La Palm because they will pay chicken feed for it. That's how bad the place had been run down. So true, if you take Labadi out, many of the others in the portfolio were just horrible.
Look, I'm not taking Labadi out. I'm starting with Labadi. And on Labadi, I'm starting from a commonsensical position.
Right.
And as you rightly read out, Labadi is a highly profitable hotel.
Very true.
From what Ablako has put out, Labadi Hotel has cash reserves in 5 banks amounting to 54.8 million cedis, 548 billion old cedis. They also, per their financial statements from Deloitte, they have a turnover of 120.4 million cedis. Okay.
This was
then,
a previous turnover.
Exactly. And then their gross profit of 70.7 million cedis. Dividends, 20.3 million cedis. This is a highly profitable hotel. So why sell a profitable hotel? What do you need a strategic partner for relative to Labadi Hotel? So clearly, this should tell any objective mind that the objective is not to look for a strategic partner for a struggling hotel. Because if that were the case, Labadi will not be included. Labadi will not be included. Labadi has been included even though highly profitable. Because what these guys are interested in is just plutocracy, state capture, corruption. And they do it brazenly without any even their conscience pricking them that, look, you are destroying this nation, you are depriving future generations of critical assets that they can fall on. Look, when we talk about SNET, it's about all of us. Because without the workers of this country, there will be no SNET. SNET is just the institution that is mandated to manage the SNET contributions of workers of Ghana. So that when we go into pension, we can have something to fall on to cater for ourselves and our families. So SNET is using pensioners' money. SNET is using the monies of workers of this country. It is not their money. It is not government's money. And therefore, how they use that is very important. Over the past, they have decided to invest in hotels. One of such hotels is Labadi Beach. The hotel is making profits. And then the government decides that we are going to give this profitable hotel to the Member of Parliament for Abetifi, who doubles as the Minister for Agric. Die-hard, staunch, leading figure of the New Patriotic Party. Forever and ever, in perpetuity. To deprive the workers of this country of such a strategic investment, which is yielding the needed dividends. That for me does not make sense. And if you defend this, the sale of Labadi Beach Hotel to Brian Champion, then I dare say that you are unpatriotic. And you are part of the plutocracy going on. It's as simple as that. Now the second part, still on the common sense angle, has to do with the other hotels which we are told are struggling, are not that profitable like Labadi Beach Hotel. Doc, I will go with the observation. I will also concede that based on what we've seen, some of them are indeed struggling. But the notion that once you have a state business struggling, then the right thing to do is to sell it, for me is a lazy man's thinking. It's a lazy man's thinking. Because if we are to go by that same argument, then look, we need to sell Ghana. Let's sell Ghana, maybe to the Chinese. Let's auction Ghana. Let's sell Ghana. Because Ghana today is far bankrupt. And if you look at the financials of Ghana, the balance sheet of Ghana, all the struggling hotels we are talking about are doing better than Ghana. You know, so. All the struggling from La Palm, they are all doing better. Because as for Ghana, we are totally bankrupt. We can't service our debts, right? Totally bankrupt. In terms of our credit rating, junk, baller, locked out of the capital market. That is how bad our situation is. Then we need to sell Ghana. We need to also sell the Bank of Ghana, our central bank. Because for the first time, that bank has incurred losses to the tune of $6 billion. Doc, you get my point? $6 billion in losses. So let's sell Bank of Ghana. Let's auction Bank of Ghana. That is how absurd that argument is. That once a business is struggling, then straight away the antidote is sell it. Because like you rightly pointed out, Labadi is doing well, not because of anything special with Labadi. I think that it has something to do with the observation you have made. The quality of management Labadi Beach Hotel is enjoying. And I dare say that if we should do a detailed analysis of these struggling hotels and why they are struggling, it will boil down to management. And not because the investments are not strategic and are not capable of yielding profits. Doc, you get my point. So first of all,
I'll be interested in finding out if the SNIT board has ever interrogated the performance of Labadi
vis-a-vis the rest.
Yes.
And why Labadi is making profit.
Yes.
And less than 100 meters from Labadi, you have La Palm.
Yeah.
And La Palm is not making profit. You understand?
La Palm was supposed to be even bigger than Labadi.
Exactly. Look at that beach. Look at the landscape. You understand? So the capacity for La Palm to be profitable exists.
The beachfront land at La Palm, if it's valued commercially alone,
yes,
it's something else.
Something else, dog. Something else. So my point is, just like all of us, when you have your business and the business is struggling, you don't just wake up and say, I'm selling. You first of all explore what the causative factors are, and then you come up with the solution. And that solution, in my humble opinion, in this discussion, can be getting in place the right, effective, and efficient management for the hotels. This argument that they are struggling, so we should sell, doesn't make sense. It's just a ruse to capture these critical state assets. That is what it is. Because if that were the case, number one, you will not include Labadi, which is profitable. And number two, if that were the case, then you should be selling Bank of Ghana, you should be selling PBC. We should even sell Ghana Cocoa Board.
Could Labadi have been
Let's sell Ghana Cocoa Board.
Could Labadi have been used as a sweetener to get investors to want to take
absolutely. Oh, sweetener.
Yes.
No, I say, what I think
you have already.
My understanding of the sweetener was that the states could use the profits we are making from Labadi to resuscitate, to sweeten the struggling ones. Not to give Labadi as a sweetener to Brian Champo.
They don't want to run it.
That arrogant
they
man
don't, oh no.
who is always fomenting trouble.
No, that's unfair.
Arrogant is unfair.
No,
the man who says Akufo-Addo will not hand over today or tomorrow.
No, it's unfair within the context of this discussion. I think it's unfair.
Oh.
Let's just focus on let's focus
very
on
unfair.
In fact, there's something we have done over the period. Yeah. If you look at even the sale,
yes,
the sale is not to Brian Champo.
It is to Brian.
It is to
Brian Champo.
To Rock City.
Yeah. I didn't stop him because the documentation shows that he's a sole shareholder and the beneficial.
Who is the owner of the company?
Sammy is a lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a lawyer too?
No.
Okay, so
and
who
I'm
is the
expecting
owner of the
him
company?
to have this conversation
Hold on.
within
Who owns
the
Rock
business
City?
law enclave.
But you know the issue of
he's a sole owner.
And as you know, the issue of
the
conflict of interest and all those things
arise.
Yeah, I'm saying that those issues arise because of the person.
Yeah, because
who owns.
Doc, I've not even wanted to compare.
You see,
the point is, who is the owner of Rock City?
What I'm saying
who is the owner?
No, don't go there yet.
I shouldn't go where?
Which company is buying the shares?
Rock City. Yes, and who owns Rock City?
Looking at Rock City as an entity on its own.
Yes.
If Brian Champion, for example, comes to borrow money from you, you will need to go through processes to go and say, I am taking over his property, right? But it doesn't automatically say Rock City borrowed the money.
See, my brother, I'm meeting you for the first time.
So I am seeing him as a lawyer. I want the conversation situated in. I don't want to look like I am defending the process.
You made an intervention. Can I at least continue?
Yes, you can.
Let him.
Sorry.
Yeah.
For me,
let's understand him.
I get it. Because I'm meeting him for the first time today, I want to share my time with you.
That's fine.
For me, my point is...
Let him finish so we understand what he is saying.
What I'm saying is, for me, that side of the conversation where these assets are being disposed to politically exposed persons, I also have an issue with it. Okay. So there we don't have a problem. I am thinking that if within the context of this conversation, if we use Rock City trying to buy the hotels, it suits the purpose better. Because Rock City is a hotel, right? And maybe in their plan, their strategy, they want to procure more hotels, they want to do exploit, whatever they want to do. I'm not a member of their board. But what I'm saying is, if we keep, I came in only when he said, Brian is arrogant, Brian is this, then we are taking the thing to his person.
All right.
And that's what I think.
Okay. So the reason why I mentioned Brian Echampong, as for the arrogance I've explained, is because of the kind of commentary he makes. Very toxic commentary.
I've asked you to take that out of this discussion.
Which have the potential
Sammy,
of plunging this country into
take
chaos.
It out of this conversation.
No, but you see, when you are discussing a man, you are... let me focus on this issue. So, Doc, the reason why I'll continue to say Brian Echampong is because he's the owner of the company.
Yes.
There is no dispute about it. Every company is owned by a shareholder, and he's a sole shareholder. Apart from he being the owner, I know that a company has a separate and distinct legal personality from its shareholders and directors. Yes, but this company clearly, for all intents and purposes, is the alter ego of Brian Echampong. Is the alter ego.
Well, in fact, if you go by the letter from the dinner chief, it presupposes that he's even taking personal.
Exactly. That's his alter ego. So there is no debate about it. Yes. Yeah. But my brother, if I can, just go on, then you come in there. Respectfully. So that's the first point. So, no, commonsensically, it doesn't make sense. And if you have a modicum of love for this country, you will share this view that you don't sell a profitable business. And even for those struggling, they can be revived through proper management. And that should be the first recourse of government, and not to sell to a crony or a leading figure of the ruling party who also doubles as a cabinet minister.
Even if due process was followed.
Even if due process was followed. Even if due process was followed. And I'll show you that due process has not been followed. But even if it was followed, it doesn't make sense to sell a profitable business, Labadi Beach Hotel, and it doesn't make sense to sell a struggling business when you have not explored the possibility of reviving that struggling business.
They have.
They've not.
Yeah,
so far,
appointed many people.
No. From the press release, the issue, they didn't say anything about that. And I'm saying that if we are to go by that thinking, let's sell Cocoa Board, who can't pay their debts. They are doing debt restructure. Why can't you sell? Young auctions, 100% government. Government is the shareholder. So let's sell 60% of that to Brian Echampong. Or you and I, let's form a company. Let's go and buy the central bank.
No, that's why we've licensed cocoa buying agencies. So a part of the thing is
it is still no. Government is still the shareholder. We can sell part of our shares. Then number two is the unconstitutionality and the illegalities. I'll be brief on this.
Okay.
My brother, you can't defend it. This deal is unconstitutional because the sole shareholder who doubles as a director is a member of parliament and the Ministry of State. Article 78.3 and Article 98.2 says that if you're a member of parliament or a Ministry of State, you cannot, put yourself in a position of profit, okay, unless you have the express permission of the Speaker of Parliament. This one is basic, it's right. By being the sole shareholder, he is the recipient of all dividends of Rock City. That is, a profit of Rock City goes to him. Again, he is a director, whether non-executive director or executive director is immaterial. All directors are in charge of policy making and direction of every company. The only difference between an executive and a non-executive director is that the executive is engaged in the day-to-day administration of the company. The non-executive is not engaged in the day-to-day, but still plays the role of a director and is still paid as a director. So whether you look at his position as a director or shareholder, he's put himself in a position where he's making profit. But he himself has confessed on Joy FM, I listened to him, that he doesn't have the permission of the Right Honorable Speaker. And that means that he has violated the Constitution. So straight away, I am telling Brian Echampo, whatever money you pay to SNIT, Usikano, Ebeshe, on 7th January 2025, because this palpable unconstitutionality and illegality will vitiate the entire transaction. And the next NDC government will sack you from those hotels, even if your party gives that to you. Because this illegality is a vitiating factor for that transaction.